All right. Well, my stream is coming to an end, but let me just go ahead and actually, I kind of want to explore something that I haven't done yet. So let me switch over to my human voice. One moment. There we go. Great. Hopefully, I am not blasting your guys' ears now. All right. So, looks like Invictus is cancelled, and we are getting Drake Defensecon. So, to give you guys like a sort of my take on Drake themselves, I actually used to. I never really had a big love for them, but I didn't even hate them either. Funny enough, actually, the ship that got me to come back to playing this game a couple years back is actually the Vulture. Because I was just waiting for salvage to come in, and the Vulture was a ship that I was waiting for. And then the Corsair actually I owned for a little bit in my hangar. But after a while, it just the utility of the Corsair didn't fit what I wanted to do, so I kind of just went back to my Taurus. But I digress. So, well, Defensecon is coming May 14th to the 27th. So that is in just a few days. So just about 2.5 weeks away. And what better time to sort of speculate on what's coming? Now, I know a lot of people have already gone through. We already know the battle cruiser is coming in terms of a concept sale. I'm actually kind of low-key hoping it actually can't be bought. Just tease it like it's a concept, but we're not selling it. But I don't think marketing would ever let that go. But here, there is actually something I kind of want to go by, and it's actually in the center here, and I'll show you. So here's a map drawn. So we're gonna actually focus in on what Drake has to offer coming up. So Ironclad Assault, big excitement for the Ironclad stuff. It's got a lot of things I like. And I do own a Kraken already, so yeah, this will be actually a fun insight in what to expect with the Kraken. Since a lot of what went into the Ironclad, they're going to use it as a kit to build out the Kraken. So I cannot wait. Now, let's see, what is the Ironclad Assault itself? So the Ironclad itself, oops, sorry, wrong one. Nope, we're not talking about you, Mr. Mule. Let's go back here, Drake Interplanetary. Let's go ahead. The Ironclad. So the Ironclad Assaults are basically a massive transport for material, and specifically assault vehicles and ground assets. And also, depending on how high the roof is, I think you can also probably use it as a pocket carrier as well, in some cases. So hopefully it can fit in some of the utility stuff here. But what makes the Ironclad Assault a lot more different is that it's got a wider front ramp to allow Nova tanks and ground vehicles be able to traverse down on the ground and use it as an assault vehicle, or even actually just be like an auxiliary base defense while you're setting up. So we know base building is coming, and right now it just seems like, and this year has been very, very high pace in features, so I am very confident that base building will be coming to Star Citizen probably middle of next year, at the rate they're going. Hey, we may even get if I'm being optimistic, a tech preview hopefully by the end of this year, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. So, yeah. That being said, moving on. Usually, when there's a featured item coming, a lot of the Ironclads have already been pre-purchased from last year. And yes, this is a concept from last year, so the fact that it's being done so quickly is pretty cool. And usually, you want to sell something to go with it. And that's where my line of thinking is coming along. So, right now, the Nova tank is our main battle tank in the game. It actually fulfills a lot of what a main battle tank would be. So, a little bit of my background. I do come from I do come from military enthusiast sort of games like World of Tanks, World of Warships, and of course, like, I do enjoy a lot of World War II and human war history documentaries, as I learn more about you humans and how you guys find ways to interact with each other in very violent ways. Alright, moving on. So, right now we are, 900 years in the future. I doubt we're going to be going into the old World War II classifications of light, heavy tanks, and instead we are medium tanks. So instead we are using a main battle tank, fighting vehicles, and sometimes we may use like light armored transports. So I kind of want to explore what this guy is going to be, the Drake Pitbull. Now, when I think Pitbull, the first thing I immediately thought of was the Bulldog. Let me just go ahead and show this guy. This is the Bulldog. It is a light tank frame. This actually is developed, sometime a little bit after the, I think it was the M24 Chaffee, which is actually one of my favorite tanks. Ironically, coming from historically inaccurate Battle of the Bulge movie, but I'm not gonna dig too much further. But like the Chaffee itself was one of my favorite tanks in terms of design, and the Bulldog came a bit after it. So Bulldog is a light tank. It's supposed to be fast, it's supposed to be nimble, and it's supposed to be able to carry relatively. It's supposed to be able to work as a small man team in the turret. So what does Drake have though? Drake does not do dreaded vehicles. Their only vehicle that they have is the Mule, which is this guy right here. This guy. Now, the Drake Mule itself is multiple axle vehicle that's able to actually traverse pretty much immediately from left to right, so allowing it to move really quickly across terrain. May have a disadvantage on rough terrain, but the thing is though, treads don't even have any sort of friction on the ground, so it's currently doesn't really mean much in Star Citizen. So that's where actually I started going around looking at what possible things we can take for inspiration. And I came to this guy, the Centauro Frezia. Now there are some other vehicles that do run this sort of setup as well. I believe some of the French fighting vehicles have it. And I think what we could use in Star Citizen is an infantry fighting vehicle. Now you can argue the Centurion is a platform that is an infantry fighting vehicle, and you wouldn't be wrong too. Now the thing is though, the Atlas chassis, I always thought of it as more of like just a universal chassis for like artillery and anti-air support. And I believe the Spartan is the sort of infantry fighting vehicle sort of thing. But I always think of this as like a truck and not really a true infantry fighting vehicle. So what we have in Star Citizen, we have a light tank, which, to be honest, I love the silhouette of the Storm, but it is not the greatest design that I would like recommend to use in real life. One, the only way to get in and out of this tank is through the front. And if you need to get an emergency exit under fire, getting out in the front is the most dangerous thing you can think of, because more than likely you have already been damaged or disabled from the front facing the enemy. And yeah, it's not great. Now, don't get me wrong, the Storm is a really cool tank. It's very low, a low height vehicle, so you can squeeze it in through places where the Nova cannot. But it is not something I recommend to people. It's fun though. So that's where like my line of thinking went, is looking into possibly, and we're gonna bring these two up, is sort of like a combination of these two. So something that can be a very universal platform that's able to, you're able to put in different turrets. So we've seen these wheeled vehicles that have mortars, machine guns, autocannons, rockets, as well as engineering platforms, but that can come down later. But I think the Pitbull would probably, if I'm thinking correctly, the Pitbull might be a wheeled infantry fighting vehicle. And I believe if this is Drake's sort of push to sort of like separate, to sort of like make them sort of separate themselves from their competitors, this would be the direction to go. So something like a combination of the Bradley and the Centauro. So yeah, that is my thinking actually, what the vehicle could be. Now the thing is, as I said, we have no idea what it looks like. We have no leaks or anything as of right now. It is the 26th of April, so I could be proven wrong pretty much by next Tuesday. So we'll see. All right then. Well, that's my sort of rant and tangent for the end of the night. So tell me, what do you guys think? What the Pitbull could be? Do you think it's a vehicle? Do you think I'm off? Do you think that my my speculation that it could be a wheeled infantry fighting vehicle be accurate, off, or maybe plausible? But again, we'll probably be proven in about a couple days. Not a couple days, in just a few weeks, so we'll look forward to it. I'll definitely make a few videos going over my thinking of the other items on here, but other channels have done a decent job already sort of breaking down this entire Defensecon. So, alright, take care, have a good one, and also catch me on Twitch as well, at twitch.tv/Robotniks. And I am trying to get YouTube streaming up and running as well. Alright, bye.